on winning football games as you do and do throughout the years. When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Marketing come up with that for him. Those were his phrases that he came up with, that he believed in.
Just win. Play hard. Try not to make mistakes. But don't worry about mistakes because there's only one thing that counts. Just win.
Yo, welcome to the 2-for-1 Nation podcast. I'm one of your hosts, and now the new SC Raiders talk, but you can also call me SC Erick, whichever the case may be. And my boy, Raider Twuan in the building. What's good, Twuan?
Let me say this right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, but it ain't gonna work out anymore. You know, I'm gonna have to break up with the SC experience. And you know, I'm starting a new relationship with SC Raider Talk. I just wanted to put that out publicly. I'm SC experience. I don't know that dude anymore.
That dude is completely gone, man.
Hey, shout out to everybody in the chat and the congregation. 2-for-1 Nation podcast. Two brothers for one nation, and we know it is the Raider Nation. I am so excited, man. I am so excited this week. Bye week was kind of dry for me because I didn't get to see my team play. Finally, we get to see our boys out there this week.
Yup, and you already know what it is. It's game week, man. These are the most exciting ones. Times like this where, you know, that bye week kind of, you know, you wonder what's gonna happen with either team. And both of these teams, you know, they need a push. They need a push, and they need that extra boost. And this is the game to do it. But shout out to everybody that's in here so far, man. If you guys can't hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. And if you weren't here yesterday for the announcement, yes, it's a rebrand. As you can see behind me on the left, I need to take that off. But as you can see through even the stream starting soon and everything, the rebrand is here. The S Experience name has been here for 2 years. It's 2.5 years, and it's time to move on from it. And you know, you feel me? This is the new thing. So shout out to everybody, man. That's still here to support, of course. And let me take that off. And shout out to everybody that's in here. Let me see who's here. Wild Turkey, what's good? Salute. Good to see you. Hope all is well. Robert Pena in the building. What's good? Good to see you. Gord Peterson in the building. Salute. Raider Resistance already dropping the kangaroos. What's good, Raider? What's good, Press? Good to see you. Hope all is well. Shout out to Terrence in the building. What's good, Terrence? 3 Dot Dave in the building. What's good, 3 Dot? Good to see you. Hope all is well. Shout out to everybody's in here. SoCal Sal in the building. What's up, SoCal? Good to see you. Hope all is well. Let me see. Let me scroll down. Auntie 6 in the building. What's good, Auntie 6? Good to see you. Hope all is well with you too. Blessings. Shout out to Rob in the building. Sports and Wrestling Connection. Shout out to you. Hope all is well. He said, I hate bye week. No, we hate it too because it's not no Raiders playing, and that's the worst feeling. But we here. We back. New game week. Week 14, I believe. Minnesota Vikings. Las Vegas Raiders. Two teams that have not been performing lately. Both have lost 2 straight in a row. 2 have scored under 22 points in back-to-back games. This is going to be an interesting game. But first of all, shout out to everybody. Like I said, man, in the description is the Instagram, the YouTube. We're simulcasting on both channels, so if you guys can, go hit that like button, go share it out as well. We'll greatly appreciate it. And as well as, yeah, you know, the Raiders versus Vikings this week. So let's get straight into it, man. Let's talk about some news first before we get to the actual game. of course, O'Connell, which is their head coach. It's something O'Connell. You know he's not related to Aiden O'Connell, but the coach O'Connell said that they're sticking with Dobbs. Dobbs has scored 2 touchdowns and 5 interceptions in 2 back-to-back games. How you feel about this? Are you tempted by Dobbs, or is Dobbs a good quarterback to you?
He's hot and cold. He really is a hot and cold quarterback. And the thing that I'm kind of, it works well, and it fits, it works in our favor, but also at the same time, I gotta say this is that we've been known to let, what I'm saying, quarterbacks that ain't playing well look like Joe Montana and Steve Young. So, I hope that's not the situation this week. Um, and I it works, like I said, it works well for us, but it's up to us if we let him bounce back.
Yeah.
So it's really, and you're going to hear me saying that a whole lot when we break down everything in regards to this week. It really, there's times where, and people have said this before, and I mean this week. There's times where you're actually going against your opponent, and then there's times where you're actually going against yourself. And I think this is a time that we're actually going to be going against ourselves. And it's really going to be up to what we decide that we want to do. And that's how the game is going to go.
And of course, with Dobbs, I think you said it perfectly, honestly. When you really think about it, Dobbs is one of those quarterbacks that got a lot of hype when he first got traded to the Vikings recently. Um, Originally, he was with the Arizona Cardinals, and with the return of Kyler Murray, they ended up getting away from Joshua Dobbs, and Josh Dobbs went to the Vikings, and he had a beautiful performance. And he started getting all the hype in the world. He came out the second game, looked pretty similar, not exactly, but similar, and then he shit the bed the past 2 weeks. For me, I'm not gonna blow past it. I'm not gonna get away from Dobbs. I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, Dobbs is absolutely garbage," and that it's gonna be an easy battle. Because at the end of the day, we make a lot of quarterbacks look like they're like they're Steve Young, Demmer. Like we make them look like some Super Bowl champions, like my boy Plunky and stuff like that. And um, it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me that we do this with a lot of quarterbacks that are not the best of quarterbacks. Um, but with Joshua Dobbs, it's somebody that he could easily light up a switch. If he lights up that switch, he starts he starts balling out. And that's something that we need to pay attention to in this game. And them saying that they're sticking with Dobbs, even though the little decline in the past 2 games, it doesn't surprise me. The guy could easily turn it on easily. And this is the game that I'm pretty sure he wants to do it. So we got to take into account, and he's also a mobile quarterback. We're not the best against mobile quarterbacks, so we got to come up with a game plan that contains them inside. And if we contain Dobbs, that's the way you beat him. Looking at the last 2 games, the pass rush that they played has continuously kept them in the pocket, and he has collapsed. So that's all you need to do. So I hope the Raiders could do it at the end of the day. Sticking with Dobbs doesn't worry me, but at the same time, I'm not gonna blow past it saying it's gonna be easy either. Another headline entering this game, of course, um, Max Crosby. He's been on the injured list. I don't believe the injury report today has came out. I have to double check. But yesterday he did not participate. Apparently, he needs surgery on that knee. That's how bad it is, apparently, according to a lot of sources. I'm not sure how 100% that is. And yes, Terrence got you right there, 66 for the Vikings record. And on top of that, we seen how much of an influence he was last game with him not being 100%. So Twan, let me know, how much is Max Crosby being out going to influence this game if he's out?
Now, I'll say with the injury, because we've heard the reports on the injury that this was the situation that Max Crosby went through was something that was almost life threatening.
Mhm.
So we shouldn't be surprised that something of that measure is not going to need some type of intervention type of surgery. Now, how long that's going to take, you know, could it be an in and out situation? There's a lot of, it's not official, but we have to just prepare ourselves for that. Is it going to be a long-term recovery situation? Is it going to be, he's going to be in and out? You know, there's different procedures, right? But it doesn't surprise me that if this really is true, that his situation is going to require surgery. Now, in regards to the game, if he's not there, yes, I think it is going to hurt us a little bit. Do I think that's going to be the reason why we lost the game? No. I think Kuntz is playing well. I think, you know, I think whoever they decide to put on the other side, I think they'll be, you know, somewhat okay. Would I like him out there? Of course. I would love Max to be out there. But you also run into the situation of this. Max Crosby is a player that I don't think anybody within Raider Nation has identified that Max Crosby is not a guy that is not a lifer. I'll say it like that in regards to the Raiders. We want Max Crosby to be here until he gets his gold jacket. And with that being said, sometimes you got to let people sit out. Sometimes you got to, hey, look, you got to get the surgery. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You're getting the surgery. You got to have those kind of conversations with guys like that, especially strong-willed guys like Max Crosby. So if they're doing preventative stuff to keep him around for the long run, you can't be mad at it. And we just got to take it on the chin and say, hey, we just got bit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Every team in the NFL every year has a key player that gets bit. It might just be Max Crosby. And
shout out to Kevin. Yeah, go ahead.
And unfortunately, that's where we're at. But I don't think it'll be something. I would like him out there, but I don't think it's going to change our result in a win.
Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to Kevin Lurker in the building. It was good to see you. Hope all is well. Shout out to Snoops Hernandez in the building. What up, Snoops? Salute. We sure would be hobbled without Max severely. I feel that. What is it? A staph infection? Not sure. Shout out. It is what it is. Max should have wasted no time on taking care of that knee. If we lose, he should just get surgery. I feel that, man. I know how much he wanted to go after Patrick Mahomes and stuff like that, but I still think he should have rested that game. He would have had that extra week, and he would have been full force right now. Because either way, we've seen how much of him being an injury out there affected him. Yeah, he got a sack, but that sack was more credited to, in my opinion, to Kuntz, because Kuntz threw him all the way straight into his arms. All Max Crosby had to do was stand there, and it went straight to him. So I think that he shouldn't have played out there. And I get it, Mamba mentality, and I love that. Kobe Bryant, rest in peace. He has that Mamba mentality. You play regardless. You play hard. You play with the demeanor to win. You go out there and you put it all on the line. And Max Crosby did that. So for that, I respect him 110%. But I'd rather him take care of his body one extra week and come out full force when we truly, 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 truly need him against all these teams that were coming up. And I hope that injury is not as bad as everybody's reporting, but it looks pretty bad to me. Shout out to it. It is what it is. Shout out to everybody, man. And like 3 Dave said, hit that like button if you guys can. We'll greatly, greatly appreciate it. Yeah, he's relentless. He is relentless. Shout out to everybody in here, man. So obviously the Max Crosby influence is gonna influence a lot. We seen it last week how much it influenced him being injured. The pass rush wasn't there, and I hate that. Every single year we have the same problem where there's not that much help. Some games there is helps, other games, and it's just like I want a consistent pass rush that every game. If Max Crosby is in or out, if Malcolm Kutz is in or out, or like earlier in the season, if Chandler Jones was to be out, they would still cause pressure, and we just didn't see it. And we didn't see it last week. We seen it 2 weeks, 3 weeks, actually 4 weeks ago We didn't see it 2 weeks ago, and we didn't see it 3 weeks ago. See the inconsistency, and we have this every single season. So I don't get why we never establish it, or it doesn't take a squirrel to know that, hey, let's get some interior pass rushes that are some stars or at least good, so they could cause some havoc when one of our star players are out. And they continuously, even within every regime, they don't execute it, and I hate it, and I hate it. And I don't know how obvious it needs to be for these guys to notice that we need help there. And I don't know what the hell's going on when that's the Jade Severa, why he ain't getting no play time either.
I I've been saying that, and I was getting killed early in the season, I'm saying, and some people are starting to realize, hey, maybe Twuan was right. Um but it is I was saying in regards to the depth of our roster, it's like, okay, I can hang my hat on the guy that's the guy that's out there, our starter. But then what? And now we're seeing even more. Then what? Especially on our D line, you have, thank God Max, Malcolm Kuntz is starting to step into what we, kind of thought Kuntz would end up, not, I'm not saying he's at the top of where he's going to be. I think he still has a couple of more levels to go, but at least he's stepping up a little bit. But from there, what, and they did bring somebody in. I think his name is Janarius Robinson.
Mm.
We'll see what he does. We'll see. I'm not sure if he's fully active or whatever the situation is. Whether he's a practice squad guy, I don't know the full details on that. But obviously they brought in a defensive end because of this situation. I Can they put Tyree on the other side? Is Tyree going to be comfortable with playing the opposite side? That's the other thing you run into. You have, if Max Crosby goes down, right? And we, if that's the full report, right? The solid report, then you have two D linemen that are rushing on the opposite side. And they've been comfortable with rushing on the opposite side. You have a rookie, that's the only side he's been on. And then you have, another guy that's been here at least another, more than 1 year. Now, what I would do if it was me, I would put Kuntz on the other side. Why? Because he's more of the veteran. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he knows some things that he can do on the opposite side versus a rookie that's still trying to figure things out. Keep him on the same side so that he can just continue to work on his rushing from that side. I wouldn't throw Tyree on the opposite side because that would just, then you would have a real rookie on that side of the ball. So we'll see. We'll see what Patrick Graham and the D lineman coach decides to deploy.
Yeah.
Do they decide to, because we saw it before, do they put Tillery on the outside? Sure. That's another option. So we'll see what happens with our D line.
Facts. Shout out to Cool Kev joining us. What's good? Good to see you. I thought Wilson was on Max's side when Max was out for a few plays. He was. I think they put, I'm not sure. I think they put Kuntz there at a certain point and then switched over with Tyree. They mixed it up in throughout the game. Shout out to Thrash. What's good, Thrash? Good to see you. Hope all is well. Shout out to El Capitan Rafael in the building. What up, Faith? Good to see you. Hope all is well. Shout out to everybody that's in here. We appreciate you guys being here. If you guys can't hit that like button, subscribe if you're new as well. We'll greatly appreciate it. But yeah, for me, obviously this pass rush, it needs to do better. Shout out to Dolphins for life. Somebody needs to step up. I'm looking at Kuntz. I'm looking at Tyree Wilson. At the end of the day, this is what I'm trying to get to people when it comes to Tyree Wilson, right? I'm giving it a full season before I say bust or boom, right? Obviously, I'm gonna give it until the end of the season to say bust or boom. I'm not calling him a bust. I'm not calling him a boom either. But if there's one thing for sure, I need him to step up. And some people may say, hey, he's not meant to be. He's not meant to with his injuries and all those things. He's a developmental player. He needs to learn. Give him time. At the end of the day, a seventh round pick is not supposed to be a prodigy or he needs to learn the first year and all that stuff. He doesn't. For me, I need a player that's gonna come in here and impact the game instantly. And that's the whole point of a top 10 pick in the NFL draft. You're not picking for a freaking hope for the best. He needs to learn. Um, obviously, but I'm also not gonna call him absolutely garbage until I get a full season, maybe season and a half of really seeing how good he can be. Because this guy, I said it, he needs time. He's one of those guys that needs time. But in that seventh pick, I never wanted a player that needs time. I need a player that already knows most of the fundamentals of the game, could get the game down, and all they need is little tweaks. And you see it with these other players that we passed up on, instant impacts, and stuff like that. But for me, Tyree Wilson is one of those names that needs to step up, especially when Max Crosby is out. So this is the game to do it right here, against the Minnesota Vikings. This is perfect. This is a perfect game for him to step up, and I hope he can. Right. But for me, I'm still gonna wait a little bit more before I could even fully give a report on Tyree Wilson. I just need him to step up. He's one of those guys that I'm looking at to step up. Um,
I think
so he
I
needs to
think
step up.
Tyree has the opportunity because I think he's going to get the amount of snaps that he's been normally getting. He's going to get a whole lot more. For reasons that we've already discussed. So he's going to have the opportunity. It's just going to be if he decides to, continue on that uptick of getting better. I'm saying, week by week, and I that's all I can ask for at this moment. I'm saying? Of course, I would love for him to be, like you said, uh, hot and ready, like Little Caesar's Pizza. But it that ain't the situation with us right now, and I can't. As much as people want to say get rid of him, I say we don't have the roster to get rid of him at all. We do not have the roster to get rid of him. Now, if we were in a situation where we were stacked, our roster was stacked, and okay, we can afford to get rid of a rookie on a rookie contract. Again, this there goes my cheap labor. My word, cheap labor.
Mhm.
We have to keep these guys, these rookies, and at least allow them to play out their rookie season. Barring, if they showing guns on IG and wilding out like that, of course, yeah, you gotta go. But if it's just when it comes to their play, keep them on that rookie contract until you're good until we find somebody. And
Mhm.
right now we ain't got nobody. So you're good. And let's keep you
Okay.
on the cheap labor.
Shout out to everybody that's coming in as well. Again, shout out to All Eyes on G. Good to see you. Jack Ken in the building. Long time no see. Good to see you. Shout out to everybody. Dolphins for Life says, Eric, put Diablo on left bench and y'all be better. God damn, bro. Damn. He has the size. Vikings tackles isn't that good. You said it best, man. You said it best right there. Charles Woodson was a star out the gate and he wasn't hurt. 10 years ago, all rookie players had minimum of 3 years to get their NFL feet. Nowadays, players being elite right out gate is being normalized way too much. Here's the reason why, and I'll kind of explain, I guess, my view on it. You feel me? And you could kind of explain to me your view.
Yeah.
Um, you see it in NBA. I mean, you got Jokic, right? When would you? Yes, people are gonna call out Larry Bird. I already know people are gonna call out Larry Bird, but besides that, we didn't have people like Jokic, right? On a consistent basis, right? You have Jokic, right? You have Sabonis, right? You have Anthony Davis. These big mans that could shoot the three ball and get rebounds. Now let me go on the NFL, and I'm glad you said NBA is a different sport. It's similar when it comes to rookies in the NFL. On a consistent basis, you have quarterbacks that are running like running backs, and it's normalized now on a lot of players, more than back then. I know people are going to say Steve Young, people are going to say, but it wasn't consistent the way it is now, the way it's throwing out there now. Every single prospect could run the ball, could pass the ball, and stuff like that as well. Wide receivers, they're starting to utilize a lot of wide receivers as a running back position. Why? Aren't running backs supposed to run and receivers are supposed to catch? Now you're normalizing wide receivers being able to run the ball as well. So what I'm saying here is a lot of players are starting to do other positions when that's not their position, but they're doing really good at it. So for me, it's both the NBA and the NFL are similar in prospects when it comes to that. So that's why now it's, in my opinion, it's normalized when it comes to right out the gate compared to back then. There's more technology that helps these players get better. There's more better, I guess, fundamentally and mentally from these coaches are starting to be more advanced in some cases. Some coaches, I don't want to talk about our old coach, that wasn't the best. But you
Right.
see it. So when it comes to a top 10 NFL draft pick, I'm not saying this guy needs to be Tom Brady. And shout out to ECG, man. I appreciate you, ECG. I appreciate that, brother. You already know, man. Salute to you. And congratulations again for getting credentials to the Senior Bowl again, man. Shout out to you guys, man. You guys are doing big things over there. Um, so to me, obviously, Tyree Wilson was somebody that I didn't even have in my book. I didn't even have it in my radar. The only reason being is because the injury. I think that's the most important thing. I want a guy that's not coming off of injury. That's a rookie. That's all I wanted. And you see the injury, how it's affecting him now. Like I said, I'm gonna give him this full season. I'm gonna give him the off season, and then wait a little in the second season to fully say if he was a horrible pick or not. I can't really fully digest and be like Tyree Wilson is absolutely garbage. He's not. He's not garbage at all. Some people are calling him absolutely garbage. I don't think he's garbage. I think he's got every physical trait of a defensive end that can make a good defensive end. He just needs to work on his fundamentals, his footwork, and just his football IQ, and that's coachable. So to me, I'm gonna wait, see how the coaches do with the one full off season. At the end of the day, Tyree Wilson has a couple of coaches that held a lot of this team back. So I'm gonna give him that, and then we're gonna see what happens in the second year. See how he comes out with the new coach that's gonna let him do what he wants, do all that stuff. Um, and yeah, he says Tyree Wilson was considered a safe pick for many teams that have developed. Many teams that were in the in the second half of the first round. And I get that, right? You need those type of players that are gonna develop eventually. So in my opinion, I think Tyree Wilson wasn't worth the top 10 pick, but he could prove me wrong easily. I'm not gonna put it on him or call him shit either. But what you think, Twan? What you think about this? You know,
I'm gonna use you know how I use analogies. I'm gonna use this one. When's the last time you used your oven? I'm using and I'm not asking you, SC. I'm asking everybody under the sound of my voice. When's the last time you used your oven? It is culture. Culture wants everything fast. The reason why you don't use your oven is because you rather use the microwave, or you rather use DoorDash, or you rather go get some fast food, or you know what I'm saying? Everything is faster than the oven, so you don't use your oven. The reason why a lot of people don't use their oven is because it just takes it takes a whole lot longer, and that's just the culture of people in general. That's why everybody out here, not everybody out here, but I'm generalizing, but we're so quick to call people a bust or so quick to call people trash, and then all of a sudden we have to swallow our words when all of a sudden they get traded to another team
and they do good.
and they're balling out. you know, and I you talked about basketball, but I was talking about, thinking about the Lakers, and we used to talk about how Malik Beasley was trash, but Malik Beasley is over there balling
It
for
be like that.
for the Bucks, right? And that's why it because of us culturally, we want things so fast that we don't give it time, and that's why I say he's under rookie contract. Like it's not like we have a free agent situation where we spend a whole lot of money on this guy and he's not doing what he needs to do, like a Corey Littleton or something like that. This is not the case. This is a rookie yeah, he was talented in college, but it's a whole different game when it comes to the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Let's give him his 3 to 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Until, like I said, if we draft another defensive end and then Tyree is like the 5th defensive end, you know what I'm saying, on the talent roster, and when it comes to cutting down to the 53, hey, I gotta cut this 5th DN. Hey, I'm sorry, you gotta go before your contract is up. But let's ride it out.
Yeah,
because you never know what happens. What happens year 2? What happens year 3?
Shout out to everybody that's commenting. They're going crazy about Tyree Wilson. Let's see what everybody got to say. He said it was considered the second best pass rusher behind Anderson. He was, and I was seeing even a lot of Raider content creators saying the same thing, but I wasn't one of them. He wasn't even in my top 5. But if for me personally, it's just when I seen tape, I didn't see a Raider fit. I just didn't. I know some people are gonna disagree, 100% disagree with me, but we all know in recent times, right? We haven't been the best at developing players. we, we haven't. Just like Twan said, we kick people to the curb and then they end up doing good somewhere else. And it's just that's what has to do with a lot of rookies as well. And I will say this about the draft: a lot of rookies end up better than other rookies because of the system they go in. The system they go in benefits certain players more than other players, and when they get traded, they look better in other systems than those systems. So that also takes into account. For me, when I had my top 5 defensive ends, just Tyree Wilson didn't fit it, not because he wasn't good. At the end of the day, the guy has physical traits that you can't teach, and you could teach those other things. But at the end of the day, he just wasn't that guy that I believed was a screaming a Raider or like screaming, "Hey, he could be a really good player in the future, a good player in general." With the right coaching, he can. I will say that. With the right coaching, he can. But at the end of the day, we haven't been the best at developing players recently, and it sucks. It sucks.
Uh,
But
uh, uh,
obviously, okay.
let me just jump in because you said something very key. Let's look at our roster. Let's look at our roster at defensive end. You say you want to get rid of Tyree. Who you want to replace him with? I'll wait. Sometimes you just got the math ain't mathing, right? As he said, the math ain't mathing. Look,
Mm-hmm.
you want to get rid of the dude. Who you gonna replace him with? There ain't nobody on the roster. It ain't like, oh, there's somebody right behind him that ain't getting any looks and is better than who we got.
Mm-hmm.
So write it out.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm like I said, and I'll put this on record. I said it before. If you go back to my draft lives, when we initially drafted him, right, and when we got to the post draft show, I gave Tyree Wilson, and you could guys go back on it because I know people are gonna probably go back and be like, oh, why did you say you give it an A-? Why did you give it that pick an A-? If you look at my reasoning, my reasoning was because the way he was gonna get utilized wasn't the way he got utilized at all. I said he was gonna be on a lot of stunts. I said that, with Chandler Jones, this was before Chandler Jones went haywire, by the way. I said with Chandler Jones' knowledge of the game and Max Crosby, his impact to the game, it would be perfect for him. But instead, Chandler Jones ended up going cuckoo. I don't know what the fuck happened to Chandler Jones. I don't know if he took something from a poker game or something in Las Vegas or something. But he went haywire, and then Josh McDaniels looked like he held a lot of people back. So it just didn't work out. And it's exactly how I initially thought when it was leading up to the draft. If you look at the lives leading up to the draft, it was a whole different demeanor about about Tyree Wilson. When people brought it up, people would bring up on my chat, "Hey, how do you feel about Tyree Wilson? How would you feel?" I'll be like, "Hey, I don't even have him in my top 5. I even showed a list of my top 5, and he wasn't nowhere near it. He was at 7th spot, I think, or 8th spot. I don't remember the exact number. But that's how it went. You feel me? So when you really look at it, the tape just didn't impress me. He was just a big body. Same thing to the Cowboys. When we played the Cowboys in the preseason, he threw that guy 30 feet forward, and that's the type of tape he's seen, and that's why people were like, "Oh my god, this guy's a beast." But that's just
Now,
that's just you know that's just
no, I try to read into, try to get a picture of what possibly was going through their mind when
shout to JT.
when they got, yeah, shout out to JT.
That's Eric.
What was going through their mind. Now, they got Max, they got Chandler, and then they said, okay, let's get Tyree. They might have said, I like what Tyree's measurables has. I like what he has physically. There's some things that he needs to work on. And this is the perfect situation. You have 2 defensive linemen that are high in sacks, know how to get after the quarterback. So, he has some mentors there. Then it also allows Tyree time to mature. Why? Because you have Max Crosby on one side and you got Chandler on the other side. Now, we didn't know that, and I'm gonna get a little left, but we didn't know Chandler was going to need to be in a straitjacket. And I don't think they were completely understanding that Chandler was going to go off the haywire. So that just added more speed, sense of urgency to the maturity of maturation, if I'm saying the right word, of Tyree. And I think that's why a lot of people are now really on Tyree, is because of, again, things have got heightened. Because if Chandler was still here, a lot of that stuff would have been covered. Because, again, Max and Chandler would have been getting most of the action. Then maybe even Kuntz, as a veteran, would have came in behind that. And then after that would have been Tyree. Defensive end wise. Now, if they decided to do NASCAR package and put all 3 of them out there, or all 4 of them out there, then that's up to Patrick Graham and staff. But it really got heightened because Chandler Jones wasn't here. And it just sucks for Tyree.
Shout out to Omar. I'm on the same boat too. Though I don't want nobody to get this the wrong way. I'm not writing him out. I'm 100% say that publicly. I'm just saying that, when it comes to these top 10 picks, it's a different, mentality. Me, I wasn't a fan of Tyree Wilson. I said this in like leading up to the draft. I know the post game draft, like I said what I said because of the circumstances it wasn't. But the circumstances didn't go that way at all. Who would have known that Chandler Jones would have went crazy, like I said. So leading up to the draft, I didn't have him there. It's kind of similar to how I was about a couple other players as well. But I hope he pans out, because if he pans out, it'll help most of our thing. And I'm glad that Malcolm Kuntz stepped up. I'm glad that Malcolm Kuntz is starting to come into his shell, and I always said this about Malcolm Kuntz since he got drafted. Um, the guy is good, man. And if you give him some snaps and you make him learn, he's gonna end up becoming something special. And you start to see it a little by little, right? And I know people are gonna say, "Look, you gave Kuntz a little bit of years, but it's different because Kuntz wasn't a first round pick or first round talent in a lot of people's eyes." There's the little bit of difference, and it sucks that I have to think that way, but that's just the reality of what it is today. You
Yeah.
know, but shout out to Big Worm. But I believe Tyree Wilson with the right coach and a good offseason, he could do better. But I hope he can because that means our pass rush will be good if he does good. Shout out to Big Worm in the building. Good to see you. Shout out to everybody, man. Everybody's debating on it. I appreciate everybody that's commenting. I'm trying to put everybody's comment on the board while we speak, and you feel me, so everybody could get some shine as well. Um, he said I got caught of an idiot about Mozzie Smith. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to 3 Dot Dave. Who was the defensive end we got rid of recently? We should have kept that dude. You're talking about Yannick Ngakwe? If you're talking, I think you're talking about Yannick. If you're talking about Yannick, yeah, we got rid of him. Raiders were looking to get off that contract. Shout out to everybody, man. Regardless of Chandler being Coco Puffs, if he blew his knee, ankle, shoulder, and got a season-ending injury, we will still hear, which the pick is still makes zero sense. I feel that. SC Raider with the fresh haircut. I've had this haircut for a week now. I just be wearing hats all the time.
He might be either he's talking about Yannick, or we did get rid of Rochelle.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few defensive ends we got rid of, you know what I'm saying, prior to the situation. So
Kuntz getting better, let him cook. That's a fact. Kuntz is doing okay. Yannick Ngakwe. Tyree better watch some tape of Reggie White and learn the hump move. But yeah, so that's the whole Tyree Wilson thing. Like I said, I'm still gonna wait. You feel me on that? But I hope he could step up. And shout out to Jenny Mac, the sis in the building. What up, sis? Good to see you. Hope all is well.
And I think Tyree. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
All I was gonna say is, but yeah. To overall answer everything on my side, Max Crosby being out influence, it will influence the game desperately if he's not 100% or out.
Yeah. You know, and you know, Max with Max Crosby, when he first came in, he didn't have all the pass rush moves that he has now. He didn't have that coming in, and I think Tyree is the same situation. I think Tyree had one good move, and you know, he's gonna have to work on like you said, the whatever move, you know what I'm saying, he needs to work on those things. So and he has a good coach in front of him, you know, a good mentor in front of him, and that's Max Crosby.
Shout out to everybody that's in here, man. And obviously now going on to shout out to Toby Chila in the building. What up, Chila? Good to see you. Going on to the game itself. Let me actually fix this real quick before I put it on the screen for y'all.
Yeah,
right here.
We kind of jump. I mean, we talking some good Raider football, but we we was talking about Max, and then we ended up taking a good minute on Tyree. But it is what it is.
I seen Terrence drop a prediction earlier. I forgot to put on. He said prediction: Tyree Wilson gets 3 sacks on Sunday.
Okay.
Talk that talk, man. Hey, talk that shit. There you go, man. There you go. Hopefully, you know that if Tyree Wilson gets 3 sacks on Sunday, I need the lottery numbers from you, Terrence.
Hey, he's gonna have the opportunity to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
I said,
he does
a lot of snaps. So
that Vikings offensive line is very.
That too.
How do I say it respectfully?
That part.
Very small. That too. Very small. So he should be able to cause some havoc there. Hopefully, you know, if he steps up. But obviously, the Raiders versus Vikings is a matchup of two teams that are trying to take the next step in the final push. Both teams have lost multiple games recently. Both teams have scored under 22 multiple games. Both teams have a quarterback that's been struggling recently. Aiden O'Connell, little by little, has been getting better. If you notice some things, he's getting a little bit better there. It's just that conservative play calling that I hate. That wide receiver screen bullshit that takes off the momentum. It affects Aiden O'Connell. Aiden O'Connell be rolling with the passes, and then out of nowhere you see a wide receiver screen and it fucks up the whole momentum. and I hate that. Shout out to the Raider room in the building. It was good, Raider room. Good to see you. Salute. But these are two tales of the tape of two teams that I believe that whoever comes out on top starts rolling and starts going the momentum. Now, it's a significant game in the year. If a lot of people are calling playoffs, a lot of people are saying Antonio Pierce needs to win out. This is the game to start it off with. They're getting Justin Jefferson back. They got some couple guys out there, and to name some for you guys here, Jordan Addison, one of my favorite rookie players. And there was a little bias, but he is in my eyes. Even though he played for USC in his final season, I still believe majority of his calling was at Pitt. At Pitt, one of the best rookie wide receivers in the league right now. Has been one of the best when Justin Jefferson has been out. TJ Hawkinson has been one of the best tight ends in the league. And we've allowed a lot of yards to tight ends as well. And then Alexander Madison has had an above expectations year there, and he's also been a receiving threat. And then Joshua Dobbs, of course, is somebody that could turn it on and up. On that note as well, right? He said, I'm gonna go live today. YouTube took the handcuffs off me. I could do my lives from the phone. Hell yeah, there you go, man. I need to set up my hug though. There you go. But yeah, what you thinking, man? What's some players on the Viking side of the ball that you're looking at? And then we'll go to Raiders after, of course.
Offensively or defensively?
Any.
I think TJ. And I don't know who they're going to deploy on him. You know, is it going to be a safety? Is it going to be our nickel?
Yeah.
I don't know, because if they have JJ out there, I'd rather have Hobbs on that. So that means our safety. Now, is that going to be Palomar? Is that going to be Merrick? Is that going to be our rookie? Because, again, we know that Teamer's gone.
Yeah.
So that means Chris Smith is going to be getting some snaps. TJ. Especially especially with the quarterback, because the quarterback loves his tight end. This quarterback loves his tight end. So I'm kind of that's one that I'm kind of more worried about. Not so much worried about. It's crazy. I'm not really. I mean, obviously JJ is JJ. And I mean Justin Jefferson, but I think we can handle that. But that TJ third down when they really need something, it worries me. But also, with that being said, like we were saying earlier with the quarterback play, we don't know what quarterback quarterback do we go get. So hopefully he's on his hunky junk and is throwing more interceptions than touchdowns. But yeah, TJ really is glaring to me now. On the defensive side, you gotta say Danielle Hunter. You gotta say Danielle Hunter, and that guy on the other side ain't a slouch either. So our offensive line is definitely going to have to make some adjustments and be real with it. Don't say I can do it on my own. You know what I'm saying? If you can double team and shift and all that good stuff, you better do it. Because that's the thing about we talked about how, stats have said that Aiden O'Connell has been well under pressure. He's actually ranked pretty high, under pressure. But that Brian Flores defense is a blitzing team on steroids. He almost blitzes every play. So we got to be on our P's and Q's, in that effort.
It's a fact. And shout out to everybody that's joining us. Like I said, if I skip you, I'm sorry. Say hi again, man. We got 36 people in here combined. I appreciate you guys for being here. And again, shout out to ECG for becoming a member today. If you guys want to support the live, support everything I do, man, go become a member. The join button there, or exclamation mark membership as well, man. I made it. I made it as cheap as possible. Um, hopefully, I used to have it at 25. I don't know why the hell I put it that much, but I shrunk it. I shrunk it. But you guys don't need to do that. You guys being here means a lot. So shout out to everybody that's in here, man. Just previewing the Raiders versus Vikings. And yes, to everybody joining me, I have a new name. SC Raiders Talk is the new name. The SC experience is gone, man. It's gone. Now it's SC Raiders Talk. I kept the SC. People know me as SC mostly, so that's something I had to keep. He said Ingold is signed till 2026. Yeah. Um, for me, some players I'm gonna go a little bit of a different route because you said kind of the notable names there. I'm gonna go with looking at my stuff. Uh,
There's some more names out there.
there is.
I ain't gonna lie.
I'm gonna go with Justin Jefferson returning, the obvious one. I think Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. I'm gonna say the wide receiver group. Now with Justin Jefferson coming back, that's gonna open it up for Jordan Addison. Jordan Addison is somebody we need to contain as well. A little speedster with route running abilities and be able to catch on the run. His yards after catch are one of the best, and that's something we need to look at, especially with Justin Jefferson coming back. We need to double team Justin Jefferson and make sure he doesn't go off, because he's coming back hungry. Now on the defense side of ball, I'm gonna go with Cameron Bynum there for them over
Okay.
there on the defensive side of the ball. A guy that has 2 tackles for loss, 99 tackles, 2 interceptions this season. He leads the Vikings in tackles. So he's somebody that he's all over the field, side to side, getting involved in every play, and that's somebody that we need to account for when it comes to our running plays with Josh Jacobs. When it comes to our quick little crossing routes and all that stuff. So those are some names that I'm looking at. Um, Obviously now going on to the Raider side of things and some things to take of account for the Vikings, of course. Um, for example, in 12 games, TJ Hawkinson has averaged 65.5 yards per game and 6.7 receptions per game, 786 yards and ninth in the NFL. On top of that, um, you have Jordan Addison there as well, with 54 passes on 82 targets with 686 total yards, 7 touchdowns. He's averaging 4.5 catches, 57.2 yards per game, and through 12 games. As you could see there, man, they're getting the yards in that receiving core. Now we flip it, right? We flip it to the Raiders, man. And the Raiders have, obviously we all know a lot of names on here, man. When we think of things, and I'm gonna start it off on this side of the ball. I'm gonna say somebody to look at, of course, is Nate Hobbs leading this secondary. I believe Nate Hobbs is our best corner still to this day. I know people are gonna say Meek. For me, has always been Nate Hobbs. Um, I'm looking at Nate Hobbs in the secondary. How can they do with It's not really a big impact with Marcus Peters gone, but now with new depth, right? Face on is coming back, right? You have Jack Jones having another 2 weeks under his belt. I want to see these guys come out here and perform at a high level, and I think they can. So I'm gonna look at Nate Hobbs. I'm gonna look at the secondary, see if they could get takeaways, get interceptions, get in Joshua Dobbs' head when it comes to it, and then on I guess the front burners. I'm gonna look at that defensive ends. I'm gonna look at Coons. I'm gonna look at Tyree Wilson. I need those guys to step up. Regardless if Max Crosby is out there or not, Max Crosby is not 100%. So I need these guys to step up in order to cause havoc on Joshua Dobbs and um, Josh Jacobs. Obviously, I'm a peep Josh Jacobs. He needs an impact. But don't force feed him either. We don't need to be on that conservative stuff. But I'm looking at Josh Jacobs and Aiden O'Connell on that forefront. What you think, Twan, on both sides of the ball for the Raiders?
You said a name, and I just want to really keep an eye on that name. And that's Facing.
Mhm.
I think Facing, coming back. If he comes back this week, that's a huge test because he's going to have to go. He's going to either line up against, um, you know, Addison or a speedy wide receiver, and you know, usually it takes a corner about a game or two to really get back into, you know, back up to speed. So he's gonna be, yeah. I would like him to be out there, but not out there a lot.
Okay.
Because it might be a tough, you know what I'm saying? Take the challenge, but if you see that he look like he's out of wind or gas, just go ahead and get him out of there. We're just gonna have to roll with, you know, I like Jack Jones, so you know I'm with Jack Jones on this one.
Yeah.
But you know, Jack Jones and Hobbs and, you know, whoever else they decide to put on the other side, a Meek or whoever. Yeah. I think our corner is gonna have to be physical against these wide receivers, and I think that's another thing. If we can get physical with these guys, of course we don't want no panties on the ground, but if we can get physical with them, I think that'll also help us too. I said something defensively. I'm gonna say something offensively. I want to see. I talked about TJ. I think Michael Mayer.
Okay.
There's something about Michael Mayer I've been just kind of vibing with for the past couple of weeks. Just kind of looking at tape and seeing what even the potential that Michael Mayer has. Like people understand this. What we see from Michael Mayer is like the tip of the iceberg. When you start really looking at what Michael Mayer really could do in this offense, it is a scary thing. And if our quarterback, and again, our quarterback has a lot going on, but if our quarterback could have that, you know, like that undeniable chemistry that, you know, most quarterbacks end up having with a certain player on the team, like it could be like one of those, like, you know, I don't want to say Mahomes, Kelsey, or, you know what I'm saying, whoever, Kittle, but it could be something like that. And I'm just excited to you know, see Michael Mayer uptick, because I definitely see him catching the ball, not getting hit on, you know, not going down on the first hit, you know what I'm saying, actually going forward, knocking people over. Like it's a problem at tight end, and Michael Mayer is that guy.
Facts. And shout out to everybody that's in here, man. Shout out to Raider Ben in the building. It was good, Ben. Good to see you. Hope all as well. Shout out to Ben. 3 Dave, we're fourth. We are fourth in the AFC West now. The Broncos are on a roll. Shout out to even though they lost last game. Shout out to Anthony Estrada. What's good, Anthony Estrada? If you guys can't hit that like button, man, and subscribe if you're new. Yes, SC Raiders Talk, the new name for everybody joining me as well. Now, obviously, you heard some players there, y'all. Some players that we need to look at on Sunday now. And it's on to, which actually, let me give you guys some little bit of, you could call it like fun facts, right? Devontae Adams needs 10 more touchdowns to surpass Tim Brown in career receiving touchdowns, which ranks 9th on the NFL's all-time receiving touchdowns. So he needs 10 more. Can he get it in these 5 games? It's possible, right? Again, Max Crosby, I believe, needs 1 sack to get to 50 career sacks, I think, which would be 5th in all of Raiders, I believe. In their last 5 head-to-head meetings between the Raiders and the Vikings, Minnesota has beaten the Raiders 3 of the last 5 head-to-head matchups. So we need to change that narrative, man. We need to get that win, make it 3-3 in the last 6 matchups. We need to make it 3-3. But now on to the keys to the game. Keys to the game here. Very simple. I'm gonna let Twuan go first on this one. What's your keys to, what is, in your words, Twan's game plan? What's the game plan, man? What's the keys to the game there, man?
You know, I'm gonna drop the full clip soon. for the game plan over on the Raider Twuan channel. But one thing that I'm definitely going to be one of the keys that I'm going to be looking at is our offensive line and protecting our quarterback. I think if we can keep our quarterback clean, especially knowing that Brian Flores dials up a whole lot of blitzes, we got to pick up those blitzes.
Yeah.
And we got to communicate those things. Andre negative 3,000. That's yes. I said that. That's his name over here on Raider Twuan channel. Andre negative 3,000. I need you to make sure that you are calling out these blitzes, communicating with Aiden O'Connell, and letting Aiden O'Connell tell you guys, communicating, seeing what y'all see, because you guys got to pick that up if we're definitely going to move the chains. We do got the wide receivers to get open. We got the wide receivers. We got the talent. It's not that we don't got that, but we got to give this quarterback time. And we know that this quarterback can throw the ball. He can throw the ball. And that's what I like about Aiden O'Connell, is that he can throw the ball. So if we keep him clean, with a blitz heavy defense, I think we'll be good.
That's a fact. For me, I know I had some keys to the game yesterday on my little 30-minute short live too, but it was more of an announcement. I'm gonna switch it over because now looking at more news, that it looks like more things are gonna happen now. I'm gonna go with 3 different ones, right? Pressure. Once again, another week of pressure. We need to get pressure on the quarterback, make Joshua Dobbs' life a lot easier, right? We need to cause some havoc in the backfield there. Not only with their run game, but also their passing game, because he has mobility. So hopefully, we could cause some pressure there. On second, this offense, if it's rolling, keep it rolling. And what I mean by this is, hey, don't come out of the second half conservative if you have the lead. There's no conservative stuff that needs to happen. You're not going to go far in this league being conservative. You're going to lose games. You're going to drop games. And then third of all, and the final one is take advantage of takeaways. Well, I believe we're gonna get takeaways, and if you get those takeaways, you gotta get points. You gotta get a touchdown, not a 3 points or not any points. You need to score points, at least 3, but I would prefer a touchdown each time, because you need to take advantage of those takeaways. If you don't take advantage of those takeaways, you've seen it time and time again. We've beaten teams in the takeaway battle, and we lose because we don't take advantage of those opportunities. So take advantage of those opportunities. And those are my 3 keys to the game. And with those, the Raiders can end up winning. Obviously, both teams here need a win, a desperate win. They get a win, the momentum starts flowing. Now, did this extra week do us good? I hope so. We just had a recent bye week. They haven't. They're coming off of a game that they lost. And Joshua Dobbs looked horrible, but that doesn't mean Dobbs is a bad quarterback, because he could easily turn on the switch against us. Now, one of my favorite parts here, and I think Twan knows what it is, man. It's time for the bold takes in this game. Twan, what's your bold take for the game, man?
Oh, hey, I got one. Hey,
go ahead, let me know.
Hey, Marcus Peters.
Oh, no more Marcus Peters bold takes no more.
Bold take, Marcus Peters. No, I was like, that one threw me off. I threw myself off. Bold take. Michael Mayer touchdown.
Mayer touchdown. The Notre Dame prodigy.
Yeah, he gonna get busy.
Let me see.
I might have another one. Go ahead. And
I'm gonna go on the offense. Yeah.
I'm
gonna say Davante Adams 2 touchdowns. Davante Adams 2 touchdowns. One's a 40-plus yarder, and the other one is gonna be in the end zone 50-50 ball. I'm gonna say majority 2 touchdowns. Davante Adams bold take right there. What's your second one, Twan? route you might be going.
feel it. I
the route.
feel it.
What is it? What is it?
Jack Jones.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I actually knew it. I knew it. I was thinking of Jack Jones, bro. I was thinking of Jack Jones.
I was like, yes.
Yeah, I was waiting on it.
I feel it. I feel that one. I really do.
Feel it? Interception?
I might put some money on that one.
Woo!
I feel it. I feel it. Cause and the reason why I say it is because, like I said, usually when a corner comes over to a new team or is coming off an injury, it takes them about a game or two to really do what they do. And yeah, I think it might be time for Jack Jones to get one.
Okay. All I says Kuntz 2 sacks and Amik with the pick. B Raider says Tyree Wilson quarterback sack with fumble. Okay. Dolphins for Life says Aiden O'Connell 3 touchdowns. Okay. JT says Botic Raiders win a tough road at home in comeback fashion. Okay. Damn, I felt comfortable saying Amik because Quinn was in here. For me, Botic on the defense side of the ball. I'ma say, do I want to go that route? I don't know if I want to go that route. I'm gonna go that route. Malcolm Kuntz. No,
Okay.
not Malcolm Kuntz. You know what? I'm gonna go with. I'm trying to think, bro. I don't know. I'm gonna say a combined. This is gonna be a combined of multiple players. We
Okay.
will get a combined 5 sacks this game. Combined 5 sacks in total.
Ooh.
5 sacks in total between everybody. I think we get 5 sacks or more. That's the bold take there. I believe it. It's possible. Hopefully they could do it.
Ooh.
I think 2 are gonna come from Kuntz. One's gonna come from Tyree. And the other ones are gonna come from the defensive tackle room. That's my prediction there. That's gonna be my little bold take there on that pass rush, man.
So no blitzing, no safety, no linebacker blitz.
I do have to take
no, because when you said 5, that I thought you was gonna say, hey, Patrick Graham might dial up a good old, Diablo.
I'm gonna say, yeah. 5 sacks in general as a defensive unit.
Okay.
No. I think it'll be more of a bold take if I say just the front 7.
Okay.
Front 4.
Hey,
so I'm gonna say the bold take aspect of it is it's gonna come from the defensive ends and the D tackles. 5 sacks, them combined. The obviously the safeties and linebackers can get sacks, but that won't count into my bold take. That doesn't count to my bold take. So if you see Trayvon Merritt get a sack, you see Nate House get a sack, that doesn't count for my bold take. My bold take counts for defensive ends and D tackles in that front 4. That's where it comes from. Like I said, 2 from Kuntz, 1 from Wilson, and the other one's from the D tackles. That's my prediction there. 5 sacks right there. And that's not considering the blitzes. So that's my bold takes, man. And now, do you have any final thoughts, predictions, scoreline?
I think it might, statistically, I think it might be a low scoring game. I think it's still a winnable game for us. And I'm still holding my hat on the same situation that, we're playing ourselves. You know what I'm saying? How we dictate the game is going to be the result of the game. And if we stay aggressive all the way through, I think we'll be fine. I think, and I blame them, but I don't blame them at the same time. I know that why they're calling certain plays, saying they're trying to protect the quarterback, but I think we should just let this quarterback loose. I think we should just let him, not like completely loose, but let him throw the ball down the field if he wants to. Let him, take those, because he has to learn. I'll say it like that. And I think that's a part of the learning process too. Knowing, okay, maybe I can't fit that there. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna take a shot, and if it don't work, then now I know not to do it again. Instead of protecting him, and then he doesn't know when he gets hit with all this stuff. So I think this is a game that we can win. I think this is a game we can handle. Even with all the injuries that are before us.
I'm gonna go with the same thing I've been saying for weeks now. I say we could win these next 5 games easily, but they need to come out there and execute. And that all rides on Sunday, man. So it starts with Sunday, week by week. I believe we could win, and I believe we could lose. It could be either or. Um, anything could happen in this football league, especially this year, as you can see. So, I hope we could get the win. I'm always rooting for the Raiders to win. I will just win, baby. That's our motto, and we need to win. And this is the game to do it. Both teams are desperate for a win, and this is the game to do it for both teams. Like I said, so that's pretty much it there on that front. Twan, you got anything final to say? Shows you gonna do your
Oh
YouTube
man,
channel stuff like
hey,
that.
look, I just dropped, and I'm about to drop the video. I dropped the live, but I dropped a video on who I thought is worthy of the position of GM and the coaches. So go over to Raider Twuan, check that out. You can like it, comment, all that good stuff. I do read the comments, so if you say something in there, I will, definitely take a look at it. Also, you guys, those are on the, SC Raider Talk channel. Hi, my name is Raider Twuan. Come over to Raider Twuan and show me some love by subscribing and joining the greatest chat that YouTube has to offer, and that is the congregation. Shout out to the congregation, and how you can be a part of the congregation is subscribing, clicking the like button, and then saying a little something in the comments. That's how you are a part of the greatest chat that YouTube has to offer. So quit playing with yourself. Subscribe.
Yep. And for me, hi. People know me as SC Eric or SC, now known as Raiders Talk. I used to be SC Experience, so if you hear that name still, that name's gone. It's now called the SC Raiders Talk, man. A rebrand here. Um, you know, with time, we'll get back on our feet. Rebrand. It takes a little bit of a while to get running again. It's kind of like a setback in a sense, a little bit. But I had to make the rebrand for the content I make at the end of the day, because I wasn't doing the other content. So there was no point to lie to people that, hey, this is a Dodgers, Lakers, Raiders channel, but I don't do none of the other content. So the SC Raiders Talk is the new. You see the logo. Shout out to everybody, man, that helped me behind the scenes. You guys already know, man. The links are in the chat already. You guys see it there, the Instagrams, podcast, and also go subscribe. If you're coming from Raider Twuan's channel, man, hey, if you like the content over here for more Raiders channels, post games, 2 for 1 Nation podcast, sometimes some surprise third live and stuff like that. SC Raiders Talk is a place to be, man. I'll be dropping shorts, and I'm gonna drop shorts continuously from clips from these lives as well, for you guys to be more okay. I see what he's talking about, boom, and this, that, and the third, right? So shout out to everybody, man. Blessings to you guys and your families, man. And I wouldn't go anywhere. I have an outro. The outro is very short. It's very short, very simple, very short outro. But shout out to everybody, man. Blessings to you guys and your families. Tough time in their lives, but some people do. I'll be back. Um, I'll be back. The game's on Sunday. Shout out to Egalitarian. If you guys can't hit that like button on the way out, I would say Monday or Tuesday. Monday or Tuesday. It depends how much film I watch after Sunday's game. It might be Tuesday, to be honest. I think Tuesday, same time, 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, is the time that I'm gonna go at. So if you guys can hit the like button and subscribe if you're new, I appreciate you guys, man. And on that note, y'all, remember to always tell your loved ones you love them, because life is short. And prayers and my condolences to all the families at UNLV, man. If you guys didn't hear what happened there, another shooting in that college, man, and I got some friends out there. So hopefully, they're good over there and stuff like that. And prayers over there and condolences to the families. So far I only know there's injuries. I don't know if there was any deaths, but like at the end of the day, praying for them and stuff like that. It's a
Yeah.
horrible thing, but that shows you life is short, man. You never know when something could happen. So tell your loved ones you love them at the end of the day. On that note, y'all, this was the SC Raiders Talk and Raider Twuan in the building, man, for another episode of 2 for 1 Nation podcast, man. And we are, let me find it. out. Peace.